Larry Kudlow. He's kind of a young person. Anyway, he's here right now, the host of Kudlow, the former top economic advisor to President Trump. Larry, what I find wild about the college loan thing is just going to be added to the debt. Don't worry about paying for it. Add it to the debt. As if adding it to the debt, absolves Americans from paying for it.
Well, that's a very good point. I mean, that's an excellent point. One that members of both political parties should keep in mind. By the way, it's not going to help President Biden's polls. He's losing young people left and right for lots of reasons. Inflation, the border, education. I mean, when you do polling, it just doesn't show up high on the list. I thought Mitt Romney's tweet and I thought what Senator Kennedy said was exactly right. You're going to start forgiving loans. You got to go across the board. There's a lot of loans out there by the U.S. government. And one thing I want to raise, when you talk about student loan reform, this is a subject that we looked at in the Trump administration. We should go back to private lending. Remember, it was the Obama administration that took private lending, from banks and whatever, savings and loans. They took that away, and they gave it 100% to the U.S. government. So that was not a good idea. A bank would work with a student to figure out, if possible, some form of payment, right? Banks do these workout things all the time. But the federal government, it's like all or nothing. The other point is, as you well know, 70% of the people in this country don't have student loans, okay? Many of them didn't go to college. High school degrees, they're out there working construction, hard hats, blue-collar workers. And finally, so much of this is for graduate students. And it really is super, in my opinion, counterproductive to just forgive the loan for graduate students. And many of these graduate students, I mean, some of them are going to be electrical engineers and they'll actually get a job. Many of them, history, English, literature, poetry, art. I have nothing against those disciplines. They're all near to my heart. My saintly wife is an artist and a painter. But they're not going to get jobs. Okay, so we should.
Did she pay her loans back?
She never had loans. She graduated from William & Mary, as far as I know. I went to the Woodrow Wilson School at Princeton. They gave us free tuition and board, but I had expenses. I took out a loan. This was 50 years ago, and I paid it back. Okay, I paid it back. And so I just don't have much sympathy with this loan.
Well, you also had outstanding promise that they recognized, and whatever happened to you?
I got to tell you, in those days, it was a long shot.
Well, it paid off. You know what's weird, though, and you raise a good thing, because what you do for some others, we're quite naturally and rightly expect to be done for them. What I do get worried about, Larry, and I know you've talked about a great deal, is that if you're digging a hole, it's best to eventually put the shovel down and don't compound it. So whether you're for this spending and relief for those who are overwhelmed with student debt and all that, spending in general has made a bad problem a whole lot worse. And yet that's the tonic and the solution that the administration comes up with. I just wonder when it's even getting pushback from the Joe Manchins and others, and those who are not nearly as moderate as he within the Democratic Party, it's telling you that this is a progressive push here.
Well, this is part of the modern monetary theory. You can spend as much as you want, you can borrow as much as you want, and you can print as much money as you want, all in the name of creating faster economic growth and faster economic demand. Trouble is, modern monetary theory has been blown up because of the inflation rate. And it turns out you can't just spend and borrow and print money.
Look at Argentina.
Willy-nilly.
Look at Argentina.
Well, that's right. By the way, Argentina is suffering from yet another. I was down there many years ago.
Right.
That's probably the subject of another segment. I do want to say this, though, to my Republican friends. They are looking now in conference at this so-called China Compete bill. And I am so totally opposed to this, Neil. First of all, it's just a big corporate welfare, picking winners and losers, industrial policy.
And that's who's pushing it, these corporations.
Big spending bill. I call it the Intel bailout bill. The bid from the Senate was $250 billion. The offer from the House was $350 billion. There's 15, 16, 17 Republicans that voted for this in the Senate. This is exactly what we do not need. Not only for policy reasons, is not going to help the chip sector. We don't need that kind of money. There's $200 billion of investment already in plants and equipment cooking. That's what that's what the Chip Association says. But it's more spending. It's just more spending. So,
and I wonder if we want the government involved in helping industry, period. Best to maybe get relief or that sort of thing, but when you're propping them up, China is proving that there's a limit to that.
Right.
That's unfolding as we speak.
This is like the out China bill. This is
that's very good.
This is state.
Let me write
control.
that down. I'm going to say that's my idea.
It is.
Out China.
You can have it. That's what I do for a living. Out China. State planning, state control. How's this money going to be distributed? I mean, Intel, all these big guys are building plants like, Taiwan Semiconductor, which is the greatest kind of commodity chip maker in the world. They're building in Texas. They're building in Arizona. Intel's building in Germany. Yeah. I don't want to give them money to build in Germany. Qualcomm is, in other words, projects are in place with private investment money already. They don't need federal money. And we just have to have an attitude, Neil, of stopping this government spending. Where do you draw the line?
And parties and both administrations of all sorts. We can't. And a boom would help. It would help Bill Clinton. You had the whole internet boom and what have you, and you had a president at the time who was against his own inner instincts, was working with ways to, remember, we're all bond market heroes now, all of that sort of stuff. But there's very little appetite to rein this in because it's not, most people don't even hear it ticking. I know.
It's just not good, okay? And I want to include my bipartisan criticism to this because the Republican senators who have voted for this don't seem to want to come on my show. Okay.
Really?
I don't know exactly. I mean, I had Cynthia Lummis from Wyoming came on the other night, and she was fabulous. No, John Barrasso. But there's a few. We're having trouble getting them on because I'm going to take them on this issue.
Good for you.
I mean, if the GOP, look, the cavalry's coming. There's a red wave out there. There's no question about that from the Biden mistakes and the collapse of his own agenda, et cetera, inflation, border, you name it. But the GOP has got to stand for something. They've got to stand.
I just find a little, to your point, I'm glad you take that stance and just hold them all accountable. But I always find when, Republicans are talking about the debt and all, it's sort of like me lecturing someone like, eat a salad. Don't go there. You're hardly in a position. And yet, those who come forward, yes, we did screw up. Yeah, we overdid it. And that's why we know we're reform spenders ourselves, and we don't want to repeat that. You'd have a lot more credible argument and talking about the debt. But it's interesting.
I've been sober 27 years. It's about time these guys got sober.
On the top 10, I'll let that go because you said it, and I'm glad.
I'm just saying.
But it's nowhere on a top 10 list.
I'll send them all to Hazleton and get off this spending addiction.
But it's nowhere on the top 10 list. They read the polls, right, Larry? So no American or substantial number is looking at the debt and saying it's a problem.
Well, I don't know.
Do you think that'll change?
No, I've seen some stuff, from Ragmeyer at Tips, for example. Well, it kind of gets.
You think it could gel?
Yeah. I think it's out there. I mean, they don't want to spend, they don't want to tax, and they don't want to inflate. Look, I'm looking at today's numbers. The last 3 months, the basic Fed target PCE deflator is up 7.9%. Call it 8%. Now, you take a look at the wages. The wage and cost numbers came out. In the 12-month change, private wages are up 5%. So we can all do the math. We have 8% inflation and 5% wages. We're all losing money. Look at this other number that's so important, real disposable income. So that's income after inflation, after taxes. It is falling month after month after month after month, okay? Last 3 months, it's down 2%. Last 12 months, Neil, it's down 20%, 19.9%. That's why people are so angry about inflation. The cost of living and taxes takes their wage increases away. They're working hard, productivity
Yeah,
because
those are multi-decade highs and wage gains, of course, wiped out by even bigger multi-decade highs in cost. Well, let me get your thought real quickly on where this goes, because some people were seizing on the PCE component that it's rising but slowing the rise from the month before year over year, 5.2 now versus 5.3. I think that's grasping at straws.
Yeah, that's a reach. I agree with you. That's a complete reach. Look, I don't know where the peak of inflation is, whether it's 8 or 10. Okay, I'm not smart enough to know. But here's what I do believe. It will be very sticky coming down, very sticky, because we've front-loaded so much stimulus, both the spending and the Federal Reserve's balance sheet and money supply. And the Fed really has barely started their actions to take the punch bowl away. That's why I wrote for Fox Business, we may well be on the front end of a recession because of the inflation problem. 8% inflation. I'm not sure it's peaked. I know it's not going to come down rapidly. The Fed's target is 2. So
you have your debts.
How soft landing.
Got it.
It's like, second and third marriages. It's a triumph of hope over experience, I got to tell you.
There we go. He's the best. You want to stick to this money thing and the economics and so you seem to have an knack for it. So
can't help it.
Larry Kudlow
Thank
is
you,
on
Neil.
in about 2.5 hours.